said, let's do this again, and then they went for it. And now, what's left? Another 25 movies coming up. Give them another. Give them another film. That's what I want.
Box office buddies.
Oh.
Here with my buddy John.
See.
And
See.
we did the big Marvel movie, Avengers Infinity War.
What a war it was. What a give it to me again.
This is the latest. It basically is a culmination of everything we've seen with the past Marvel installments. It's MCU reaching the end point, the pinnacle here.
The end point. Is there an end?
Well, for the movies that we've had so far.
Yes.
And name an actor, they're in it. You got Robert Downey Jr., Chadwick Boseman, Mark Ruffalo, Scarlett Johansson, Don Cheadle, Tom Hiddleston, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Chris Pratt, and Batista! Yeah, every Marvel character is in this, or just about.
Yeah.
And big battle, big villain Thanos, and they've got to go up against him. And this one's directed by the Russo brothers. Look, the only Russo I appreciate is Alex Russo. For those of you who get that reference.
Do not get that reference.
You know this.
Yes.
Many people watching know this. I am not a Marvel fan whatsoever. I cannot stand Marvel movies. And I think what we should do is just take turns. We'll each give a pro, then each give a con, and we'll just do a quick pros and cons list of
Let's do it.
how this movie stacks up.
Yeah. So pro?
Pro!
Guardians of the Galaxy are in this film.
Anytime they're on screen, my interest level does go up a little.
Chris Pratt is
Chris Pratt's hilarious, and the interaction between him and all the other Guardians. Of course, I love Batista. He's funny as always.
Yeah.
And the Guardians definitely. I'll agree with that one. I'll also say that the action sequences felt more meaningful than they have in past movies to me.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Con.
Too long.
2.5 hours, folks.
But necessary, so I don't know if that's really, like, they signed up for that. It took them 10 years to get to this point, and they had no choice but to make a long movie, so I don't know if that's a real, like a legit con. But.
Yeah, I understand what you mean, as in, like, what could you really have removed from this movie, right? Like,
there's no loose... there's no fat, really. It's just
in a way, it almost should have been another hour.
yeah, absolutely.
Exactly. And to your point of saying it's a transition film, I see this kind of like as a bad version of The Two Towers, where like you don't have the Fellowship of the Ring before it, and you don't have Return of the King, and you're just like, this is our movie. So as a standalone movie, this really is rough. You kind of need to be a big Marvel fan, know all the movies that came before and all the details leading up to it. And then, there is going to be a part 2 to this, right? Most people know that. I'm not spoiling much. So, this movie is just a mediocre middle.
Yeah.
And that's one of the big problems. It's like, it's not the setup movie, because it's not. They kind of just put you right into everything that's going on and you're supposed to know.
Yeah.
And it's not the conclusion, so it's just kind of there.
Yeah.
And it's, any other pros?
The relationship between Thanos and his daughter,
adopted
daughter. It's like there's some sort of they pulled as much emotion out of it as they could.
Yeah, considering there is no character development in this. It's
absolutely no.
It's very much about the story, which I'm okay with.
Yeah,
it's not about the characters. It's not about their relationship to each other. Mm-hmm. There is the one you mentioned, but like overall, there's not much of that. It really is about what's happening and the action and the mission at hand.
Yeah.
So it's a con in a way, but had the stakes been higher for me personally, had the action been a bit more compelling, it wouldn't necessarily be a con. I don't mind if there's no character development in the movie, if the story is strong enough, if the driving force behind it is some sort of important mission that I'm invested in.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pro.
Chris Evans' hair and his beard. He looks badass.
Yeah, it's an improvement from what he's looked like in the past.
A lot of stuff. There's so much stuff in this film, and there's just so much stuff. I think I said this in my last review with the other movie. There's so much stuff. I feel like an old man. Gosh.
I don't know what to look at anymore.
There's so many explosions and so many gizmos.
Yeah, no, there is a lot to take in.
Yeah.
But I'll put that as my pro too. There is a lot in this. So it has that rewatchable value where like a lot of these I could never sit through. This one like, I don't know. Maybe I could rewatch it. And
I'd rewatch it. I would definitely rewatch. Okay. Just because I missed a lot.
Any other cons?
Cons? I think I had one. Give me a second. Con!
Wow.
Nailed that one.
Con. No Ant-Man and no
It's true, there was Ant-Man.
no Hawkeye. Like two of my favorite characters are not in this. Ant-Man's one of the Marvel movies I can tolerate.
I love that.
Love Paul Rudd.
Yeah.
And
I didn't even notice that.
Hawkeye.
That's a bad sign.
Hawkeye, man. Like, why aren't those two in this? That was a letdown for me, I'll say that much. Pro.
Yeah, there's some cool design. Like from I think the Guardians of the Galaxy design stuff there's a lot of that in this film. And like weird ships and weird stuff. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, there's a lot of this that goes on in space and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And, I liked Thanos. I know his motivation isn't really like anything there. It's just like he's like a classic.
Yeah,
Let's purge the earth for the greater good.
I don't like the motivation they use.
Motivation isn't great.
He is my favorite Marvel villain.
Okay.
So far.
Okay.
Yeah, for me it's more just like how threatening he actually is to the Guardians, to the Avengers, to all the other like every other villain. You're like, yeah, I know what's gonna happen. Another pro. This is probably the darkest Marvel movie.
Oh, seriously dark.
Yeah.
Seriously dark. It's dark.
Yeah. Like they really went away from their usual formula, which I'm very happy about because one of the things I hate about Marvel is how formulaic it always is.
Yeah.
This was a change.
Yeah,
it was a lot darker and.
Yeah.
Con.
I don't care to see another Marvel film after this. I'm done, Marvel.
I actually wish this was the last one. I can't spoil it. I can't spoil why, but
had it finished like this, it would have been like,
oh yes, I would. I actually, yep.
Thank you.
I actually would have.
Thank you.
Marvel has done it. They've actually made a great movie that I'm thrilled with, but it's not the end. And that is my next con, which is the fact that, yes, as much as I said I like this because it was dark, I think it's pretty predictable in the sense that I know what's going to happen in the next one.
Oh, yeah.
And all that darkness that we saw is going...
Well, save the day!
Put it this way. Batman versus Superman. Superman dies at the end. Exactly.
Let him die already.
Yeah, so that's all I'm going to say.
That was dark. I'm sorry, guys. That was a bit dark.
No, I agree.
I got a con.
Go for it.
Bonus con.
Yeah.
I guess this goes along with a lot of superhero films where you don't really feel afraid for their lives. Like, oh, look out, Thor! You're gonna get hit in the face by this thing. It's like, we know you're not gonna die. You know you're not gonna get smashed or
Well, but that's the thing, and that's why I kind of liked what happened. And if the movie ended where it did,
that would have been.
And there was no part 2 coming, I would be thrilled with what I saw.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm really sadistic.
I would have been thrilled. Death all around. All around.
Yeah, and to that point, even like because Thanos wants to wipe out half the population of the universe. Like, I didn't find myself caring because there wasn't enough character in this, and
Yeah, exactly.
millions of people dying. You're like, nah.
It's
What's Thor up to?
Yeah. Another building blew up. Meh.
Yeah.
I'm used to that.
But that's
classic.
That's part of the
Except the
trap of a superhero movie. You can't really avoid that.
No, exactly.
I did not find myself caring at all about Vision and Scarlet Witch.
No.
That was like the one character
Yeah,
story
like,
they tried to do well, and
here.
it fell so flat. Like that was weak.
There's
that
no
was
emotion.
Weak.
Yeah. There's nothing there.
That's not the strength of this film, and it's not really the strength of any Marvel movie, in my opinion. I think the Marvel fans won't think this is the best.
No.
But I don't think they'll hate it either. I think they'll like it. They'll want to see the next one. But as a standalone,
no,
Marvel the Matrix, because that is the scale that we use here. Marvel being the worst, Matrix being the best. Obviously, this falls under Marvel anyway. So where in the Marvel spectrum is it? Top tier Marvel, lower, middle?
It's a middle. It's not a horrible film. It's not a great film. It's just like,
Yeah, I'd put it lower end of middle.
Okay.
So it's not top. It's not Guardians. It's not Iron Man, the first, and it's not as bad as Avengers: Age of Ultron or Captain America. It's none of those.
Yeah.
It's more like middle road.
Yeah.
Bottom tier of that.
Yeah.
That's where I'd kind of put this one. Let me know if you thought we're crazy, or if you agree. And where does this land on your scale? Is this middle road Marvel, one of the better ones, one of the worst? And like the video, share it around. Make sure that all these people who love Marvel get to see our pros and cons list and see what we think of what actually did work and what works a little less.
Marvel does it again.
Yeah.
Give us another hit. Take us to the next one, Marvel. Gotta have my Marvel.
There you go.
In my cereal, on my toast, in my jam, in my milk.